to have people. So with that in mind, I want to move on to my portfolio ideas. Now, I have to talk about gold, and I've not been a gold bull for some years, but I have a feeling in my bones, and this is one that I can't internalize in terms of an internal jury. This is one of these things that you either do or you don't. But I have a feeling in my bones that at some stage, all this monetization, all this huge creation of electronic money around the world will lead to uncontrollable or much higher than expected inflation. It won't happen for a while, and that gold will be your only means of defense. So everyone should have some gold in their portfolio. I don't really like the ETFs because you never know about the counterparty risk there. Gold coins, yes, and gold shares, and Condor, which is here, is a company worth looking at in that respect. Gold shares are really beaten up and I think look relatively attractive to put into your portfolio today. That's my comment on gold. I've got a very small allocation to it, but I think it's worth everyone having some of. In terms of shorts, well, I mentioned already that the tech companies, the sort of social media companies, are way overpriced. I mean, how that company, King Digital, could get away with a $7 billion valuation is absolutely beyond me. It won't be 3 or 4 months before people, having tired of Flapping Birds and Candy Crush, will go on to something else, and that'll be the end of it. So it's just crazy what people are doing. It's a pass-the-parcel game, and it's not very positive for the market. In terms of macro, I'm still short the Australian dollar. I think I've just come back from Australia, and I still think it's way overpriced anecdotally, and I think all the stats, and I use my jury system on this one, is that it's going to go down to the mid-80s from 93 cents against the US dollar at the moment. For reasons I mentioned earlier, I'm short the Japanese yen. I'm reluctantly, perhaps, with trepidation, short the euro against the US dollar, and I'll be judged by you next year on that. Short the pound, but not too aggressively. And in terms of bonds, I'm a bit blah on this because we're still fighting the Fed. We made some money by shorting the US Treasuries and the gilts last year, but I would be short the Spanish bonds or the Greek bonds, and I'd certainly be short the JGBs, the Japanese government bond at the moment. And London property, wow, I'm a fool here because I'm actually buying a flat at the moment because I need somewhere to lay my head after this show. And I know that I'm buying right at the top, but I don't have